Hi everybody. It has been 3 months since I recorded. I'm going to tell you all about why right after this. Hi everybody, I'm Sharon and this is episode 345 of the Knit Style Podcast. Let's jump right into it. So, I missed the entire fall season and I definitely missed the Christmas season. So, I think last time I told you that my son was getting radiation treatments in New York City in September. That went really well. He stayed, he was able to stay at a wonderful place called the Hope Lodge. And it's sponsored by the American Cancer Society, and it's for cancer patients who are receiving therapy. And my son is a cancer survivor, and he received radiation for a meningioma that he had surgery on last year, and that went great. And he loved living in New York City. He lived there for 6 weeks. It was amazing. And he came home the day before I went to Rhinebeck, I think. Okay, so that's that. So October was a busy month. I was supposed to go babysit my daughter's dog because she and her husband were going on their honeymoon the last week of October. So Rich's birthday is October 26th, so we decided to go out on the 23rd to celebrate his birthday because I wasn't going to be there for his birthday. So we're sitting at dinner and we got cocktails and he took a sip of his cocktail and he just kind of sat back and just kind of looked around and he looked kind of weird and I said, "Are you okay?" No response. He was having a stroke. So 1 minute, fine. The next minute, I lost my husband, basically. So the story he's better, but I thought he was gone forever. I mean, honestly. So we called 911 immediately, went to the hospital. To make a long story short, he had surgery to remove a blood clot on the left side of his brain, and he had moderate damage because of the stroke. Woke up, couldn't talk really. I mean, the only thing he could say was yes. Weakness on the right side, couldn't move his right arm. And then he had a medical complication in the hospital that was, I'm not going to even talk about it, but it made things like even harder. So he was in the hospital for 10 days. And that was like really hard because he was ill on top of having this stroke. And I didn't know if he was going to live or die. I mean, it was horrible. But then he started to come out of it and he was able to be better enough to go to rehab. So he was recommended for, they call it acute rehab. And so, I had to find a place. And I decided on 2 places. One was Burke down in White Plains and the other was Helen Hayes. And the other one was Rhinebeck, in Rhinebeck. And Burke wouldn't take him because of the illness that he had. But Helen Hayes accepted him. And let me tell you, I'm sure you've heard of Helen Hayes. It's very famous. I looked it up. It was originally founded to help children with polio. And polio has pretty much been eradicated. So now it helps people with all kinds of disabilities, paralysis, car accidents, strokes. So he was in Helen Hayes for 3 weeks, something like that. They're incredible. The best care you can ever imagine. Clean. The techs were wonderful, friendly. The food was good. He got therapy pretty much every day for an hour a day, OT, speech, and PT. They got him up and walking because he was non-ambulatory. But they got him walking. It took him a while because he had trouble, orienting himself. And then he got better. So then it was an hour away, and that was really hard on me because it's dark at night, But I can't say enough good things about Helen Hayes. If you're in the area close to buy it and you need a rehab facility, Helen Hayes, amazing. It's got an amazing history too. You can look it up. Founded by Helen Hayes, famous actress, philanthropist. There's a big portrait of her, gorgeous portrait in the facility. So interesting. So anyway, so then I drove him when they released him. It's another long story. I drove him to a subacute rehab near my house, which I had to find. You do a lot of legwork when your family member has an issue. But I was able to find this subacute rehab near my house that was also incredible, amazing. Food was not great, but the rest, it was wonderful. So that was only 10 minutes from my house, which made things a lot easier. So he was there another 3 weeks and did incredibly well there. Improvements every day. And I would go, they had a living room, and I would go sit with him, and we'd people watch, all the other people in this rehab. But it was beautiful. It's also a nursing home, and they were doing a lot of holiday festivities during the time. And it was a good experience if you have to do rehab. So then, of course, your insurance kicks you out when you do well. And they didn't want to let him go because he was doing so well. But then, you're doing well, so you have to go. So I was able to bring him home on December 17th. I was super nervous about it because we have stairs in our house, and I wasn't sure. But I brought him home. He is walking. He is using a cane for balance. He can't go up and down our big stairs on his own. I just guide him. Going down is very hard because there's no railing for him to hold on because his right arm is still weak. He can't grasp the railing, so I have to help him. But he's doing amazingly well. The other day I came home and I went out for a walk, and I get home and he's eating a hot dog that he made by himself. He does everything on his own. He dresses himself. He does his, hygiene, everything. I don't have to do anything for him, basically. Sometimes I help him with certain things. He's incredible, doing great. His speech is much better. We've been watching TV shows together, and we can talk about them. He's cognitively intact. Like he remembers things. He's able to tell me like directions. If I take him for a ride in the car, he goes, "Let's go this way," and he'll tell me what street to go on. Like he's really, he has all of that. Thank goodness, because I thought I lost him forever, and I didn't, I'm so blessed, and he's blessed. He's doing really well with that. He just has trouble with expressive language. He's using his phone, and I taught him he can't type. He can't spell words or anything. He can read, but he can't, again, that's all that those expressive skills. So I taught him how to do text-to-speech. I get some really weird messages from him, but he does it. He's still funny. He still makes jokes. We were pulling out of the driveway yesterday, and I said something about, oh, there's no mail today because of Jimmy Carter's funeral, and there was all these cars going by, on our road. He's like, all these cars, what are they, going to the funeral? He's just funny. He's still funny. I probably understand what he's trying to talk about better than most because I know him so well, but his speech is improving every day. For those of you who don't know, I am a speech-language pathologist. Now, I've never worked with stroke patients, but it's basically the same principle, a lot of the same principles of when I worked with elementary students. So he has some trouble with motor planning and articulation. So I got some apps. The speech therapists where he was recommended some apps. So I got those, and I've been working on those with him, labeling. And every day he does better. He has trouble with multisyllabic words. He has trouble, sometimes he has trouble with phonological processes. For example, he will substitute a fronting consonant with a backing consonant and vice versa. So like he'll say, instead of saying top, he'll say pot, that kind of thing. But he's getting better. I'm working on it with him, and it's starting to sink in. And, there's something called neuroplasticity, and they're doing more and more studies about neuroplasticity of the brain, that it will rewire itself. And if you work on skills with a patient with a brain injury, they'll get better. So I'm definitely seeing that. We're going out to eat tonight, and I'm so excited because that is our thing. We love to go out to restaurants, and we're going to our favorite seafood restaurant tonight, and I'm really excited about it. He's excited about it. That's the first time we've been out since his stroke. And we've been going to the mall. We've been shopping. We did some shopping the last couple days because it was really cold, and he needs to get out and walk. To every day to practice and strengthen his muscles. But he shops and picks out what he wants, and he knows where everything is in the house. He's starting to do chores. He'll do the recycling. He'll do the garbage. When he can. He can't do all of it, but he can't do laundry anymore because it's in the basement and he can't go down there. So anyway, that's in a nutshell what I've been dealing with the past 3 months. Some of you may know that because of Instagram. Some of you may not. I didn't know if he would ever come home. But he's home, and he's doing so well. And if you all knew and you were praying for Richie, thank you so much. And you can continue to pray for him. Some of you may know him. He was on this show for a while, but I stopped doing the show because it just became too hard with everything we have to do and coordination of things. And so, but he talks about being on the show and, misses it a lot sometimes. So anyway, but that is where we are. So moving forward, I want to continue this business, and I want to continue podcasting because I enjoy it. It gives me something else to do besides now caretaking. My plate is very full because Rich did a lot. He did all the food shopping. Well, I did the shopping for meals. He did the shopping for things we needed around the house. So I'm doing everything he used to do, and plus what I was doing. So I've designated some of it to our sons helping. So he did all the laundry. So now I'm doing that. The garbage, a lot, he helped a lot. I mean, Rich is a homemaker. He likes being home. He likes to clean, and, play house. That's his thing. So I'm doing a lot of that, but he's starting to do more. But anyway, so I'm super busy with caretaking. Also, like, he can't drive. We have so many appointments because he's also getting outside therapies and doctor's appointments, and it's exponential. But I'm going to continue, and it may only be once a month. I'm shooting for every other week. We'll see. You know, even if it's less, a little less dyeing, I still enjoy it, and I still want to continue. So, that being said, I have some yarn here that I dyed in the fall that I was ready to talk about and show you, but I never got around to it because of what happened. So I'm going to show that to you now. It's all in the shop now when you're watching this. And everything in the shop this week, for 1 week, is going to be 20% off. So if you are interested in yarn, everything's 20% off. And I have quite a bit. And I redid the website. I kept it pretty much very similar to what it was before, but I cleaned it up a lot. The pictures are loading better. The colors are a little bit different. My logo is slightly different, but it looks great and it's working really well. So check that out. Anyway, so this is a little bit of, I did some fall yarn before this happened, and I was dyeing more because you guys love it. So I have some Slutty Pumpkin in the shop. This is all on fingering weight. So now's your chance to get Slutty Pumpkin at a discount. Oh, by the way, the discount, hold on. The discount code is, NEWYARN. NEWYARN. NEWYARN is the discount code for 20% off. Okay, so Slutty Pumpkin. I also have a color that I did last year that I wanted to do again. I did it in 2023, and I wanted to do it again in 2024. This is Smashing Pumpkins. These colors look really good together. Another color, a new color that I did this year, I did it for the pigskin party, but I never got around to posting it or talking about it. But this is Tailgate Treats. And this also pairs beautifully with Slutty Pumpkin, or with Smashing Pumpkins. And Slutty Pumpkin. So this would look great as a 3-color shawl, or you could make a blanket. I really like how these all came out. Very pleased. I miss dyeing. I really do. I'm looking forward to getting back to it. And then the other color I have is Hot Cocoa. I had a variation of this before, and I wanted to do it again. Another batch, and these came out great. I love the color brown. Brown is having a moment right now in fashion as an alternate to black. Browns, coppers, warm colors. Really like it. And this is kind of an oopsie. It's a very dark Luxardo. Came out too dark, but I'm going to list it as a one of a kind. So, moving forward, I definitely am going to continue the business. I'm going to continue recording. I'm going to continue dyeing, even though I'm very busy. But it's okay. It just kind of grounds me, and I still love it. So I'm going to still continue. So if you could continue watching me, following me, that would be great. I would love to expand more into TikTok if it doesn't get banned. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what 2025 brings. Hopefully it'll be better than 2024. I redid my entire website. It looks great. It loads faster. The pictures load faster. It has a little bit of a new color scheme. My logo's a little different, but it looks great. Everything is looking nice over there. So go check it out. Give it a look. Use the code NEWYARN for 20% off everything for this week. And yeah, let's move on to the topic of this video, and that is comfort knitting. I have needed comfort knitting, as you can well imagine. Sorry. I had pneumonia over Christmas. If everything I was dealing with wasn't enough, I got sick, and I'm like, I'm really sick. What? I was coughing. I never cough. I don't get coughs. Usually everything's up in my sinuses when I get sick, but I had a really bad cough and feeling really crappy. So I went to my doctor, and they don't want to give you antibiotics anymore. And I'm like, I need an antibiotic. I'm very sick. There's something, it's not just like, I didn't think it was COVID. It didn't really feel like COVID. It definitely felt like an infection. So he put me on a Z-Pack, which I was grateful for, and then did a swab. The next day, checked my phone, positive for pneumonia, bacterial pneumonia. I knew it. I knew I was really sick. And I'm trying to do Christmas, right? Now, you know what that's like. Plus, I'm taking care of Rich. I'm doing all the Christmas stuff to make it nice for the family. I had Em and Brian here. You know, the presents, all that. You know what that's like, cooking. I'm doing that, all that. I'm sick as a dog. So I still have a little bit of a cough. I'm much better. As soon as I went on the Z-Pack, I was better. That's why I knew that something was, it was definitely not viral. Okay. Comfort knitting. So, this is what got me through the holidays. I finished my gorgeous, it's called the Anthology Throw by Helen Stewart. I think it was 2022's knit event, I think. Anyway, it's the Anthology Throw. It's been on my needles forever. The center is my black, which is Familiar is the name of the yarn. This is Slutty Squash, and then the edging is Luxardo. Such gorgeous fall colors together. I love this. It's huge. I made it a little bit bigger. I added about 12 rounds to the border because I was just enjoying it so much. And I'm super happy with it. The base is my Workhorse yarn, 7525 Superwash Merino. I love this base. I pretty much exclusively only dye this. It's just good for everything. You can double it to make a worsted weight yarn. It's just a great yarn. And once it's washed and blocked, it's just so soft and lovely, and it lasts. It doesn't pill. It's just fantastic. I mean, I've had socks in this base for years, and it's wonderful. I love it so much. So that's this, and it's on me every night when I'm watching TV. It's perfect for this time of year. Another comfort knitting. Socks, of course. I started these in November-ish. Finished them right before Christmas. This is Mustache Yarns, which is, I think it's a Hobbit Christmas. It's the colorway. Isn't it pretty? Oh my God, I love it. All these happy colors. I needed that. I definitely needed that for the holidays. So, love these. That's another finished object. I'm almost finished with this sock by Mustache. It's a Star Wars colorway. I think it's Emperor Palpatine's reference. I think it's the Dark Emperor, I think it's called. I got a little bored with it because I was knitting a lot of gray at one point, and I got bored with knitting this, but anyway. And my daughter texted me the other day, and I had made her a pair of warm, fuzzy socks. I have a podcast talking about this sock recipe. So it's DK. Actually, the ones I made for her, I made out of yarn that wasn't sock yarn held together with mohair, and there's holes in them, which that happened to mine. I figured it would happen to hers eventually, and it did. She says, Mom, can you make me another pair of those? I said, yes, of course I can. So this is the DK version of the 75-25 sock yarn held together with mohair, and they should last forever and ever. So this was an old Christmas colorway I had laying around in my stash that I had dyed. And so I cast those on for her, and this is just the first sock. So I'm using a size 5 needle, mohair and DK held together, and I think the circumference is 44 stitches. I started out with 40 for the cuff, and then I increased 4 stitches and made it 44. I think that'll fit her good. And yeah, that's what I've been working on. And I also have a pair of Dark Side of the Moon socks that when I need just something to throw in my purse, I've been knitting on those. I have multiple pairs of socks going. I have some extended Dark Side of the Moon socks that just need toes. Again, the toes require concentration. And if I don't concentrate, then I'm going to mess them up. So I have a bunch of socks laying around that just need toes. I'll get there. So the other thing is I'm obsessed with blankets. My last show, I talked about blankets and the Jared Flood blanket book. I have some worsted weight yarn I want to dye to make the cover of that, but I just haven't got around to it. So I decided I wanted to do some granny squares. Now, I can crochet, but I'm a very basic crocheter. So I went on YouTube and I found a basic pattern for crochet, crochet granny squares, because I haven't really ever made them before. So this is How to Crochet a Granny Square Step by Step by Be Hooked is the website. I just downloaded the PDF. And she has a YouTube channel, and her YouTube tutorial was really good. I'll see if I can link it. So I made some of these. The only thing is these are not, for me, they're not mindless. So I think I've made 4. I have a bunch of, this one's not blocked, I don't think. I have a bunch of Jameson and Smith yarn that I want to make into a blanket, a crochet blanket. But here's one I started. I did 3. This is number 4. So I'm doing I'm taking 3 colors plus gray, and I'm doing a bunch of combinations. So there's 6 different combinations I can do with these, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess. And so I started that, but again, I like to sit and watch TV and craft. I can't sit and watch TV and do this because I need to concentrate too much. So this kind of got put to the wayside until I can focus on it a little bit more. But I really like it. I'm enjoying it. So I'm not one that can just pick up and just do a granny square and not have to really concentrate. But they're coming out good. So that's that one. And then after I finished this lovely anthology, is that what it's called? I always forget the name of it. Anthology. I missed it so much. I loved it. I love knitting on it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to cast on another one. So I did. And I cast one on in Christmas colors. So I dyed up a half a skein of my workhorse yarn in this beautiful forest green. And I wanted to make sure I had an even number of rows for each color, which I didn't do here. I think that there's a little bit too much black, which is fine. I don't mind it, but I wanted to make this one a little more even. So I did 75 rounds in this color. And now I'm on the white, and I'm going to do 75 rounds. Now this is the Surrey alpaca, which is a fingering weight. It's not as fun to knit with. So I have to do 75 rounds in this Surrey alpaca. And then I have some leftover red yarn that I'm going to use for the border. Can't wait to get to this. So this will be really pretty. So the Surrey, the red, and the green. I love it. Super excited about it. This is a different color green. I did more of a foresty, tealy green for this. So yeah. So this is definitely mindless knitting. I can just sit and not look at it, and it's very comforting to me, and that's what I need right now. So what comfort knitting do you do? What comfort crafting do you do? Are you one that picks up crochet and just does granny squares without looking? I wish I could do that, but I can't. Yeah, let me know. What do you like to craft when you're stressed and you need something to just ground you? Same thing with cross stitch. I'm a cross stitcher, and I just love to just do fill-in when I'm to relax me. Like, I don't like a lot of fussy stitching. Don't get me wrong, I like fussy knitting. I like following charts. I like doing lace work, color work, but I have to be in the right mindset for it, and that's not where I'm at right now. So okay, you guys, I think that's it for today. I have to get ready. We're going to be going out very shortly, so I'm actually ready. I think I'm just going to wear this sweater. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, I think I showed you the finished object the last time I recorded in October, but it was too hot to wear it. This is Sweater Hug by Skeindeer, and the yarn is Loop Fiber Arts in her worsted weight. Isn't it pretty? I put this on the other day, and I'm thinking to myself, yes, this is a hug. This is Sweater Hug, aptly named, because it just felt so good. And it's so warm. It's really cold right now in New York. We didn't get all that snow that a lot of the country got. It totally missed us. We have no snow on the ground. Thank you. I couldn't deal with snow right now. I do have a guy who plows my driveway, but he can't do the whole thing, and I'll have to shovel when we get snow, and I'm not looking forward to it. Anyway, but this is a hug because it's been freezing cold and windy here. Sweater Hug by Skeindeer. Love this. Okay, so I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I hope that you all had a great start to your 2025. Things are looking up for us. We've had a great start to 2025. I have my husband back. That's all that matters. I thought I lost him forever, but I didn't. He's back. And it's a little different, but it's great. You know, he's my best friend. And that time when he was out of it, I missed him so much. There was so many stories I wanted to tell him, and I couldn't. You know what I mean? And it's so nice to have him back. So. All right, knit something beautiful. Have a great week, and cheers.